What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, bringing you another gold nugget that you can either pick up or you can just kick it aside. Joe Biden. Now, I'm not one who takes political sides, don't even care really about the American government, because really, it doesn't do anything for me, but I did everything for it. But I'll say this right here. Joe Biden, in this video that I'm about to show, has expressed what they have created and where they've created. Check this video out and I'll be back.
It is the best $3 billion investment we make. If we look at the Middle East, I think it's about time we stop, those of us who support, as most of us do, Israel in this body, for apologizing for our support for Israel. There's no apology to be made. None. It is the best $3 billion investment we make. Were there not an Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interest in the region. The United States would have to go out and invent an Israel.
What do you think? Let me say this right here, family. I have done many videos of trying to point you all in directions to show the truth about America's government. We have sat here and I've shown that the CIA, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats, whether it is, the U.S. forces, all of these systems that are in place have meticulously, strategically created things. As you heard Joe Biden say, they created Israel. We know back in 1948, that's what they did. But if you check in the description, there's another video that he shows they created Hamas. Now, quite interesting. If anyone knows anything about the government going around creating things, that's me. That's right. 20 years in the military that I served. But when we look at the problems that exist in this world, they were all created. When we talk about ISIS, when we talk about, the Al-Qaeda, America created those. When we talk about COVID, when we talk about Bloods and the Crips, America has created those. When we talk about HIV, America has, or the Western world, has created those things. And until we wake up and realize that the creations of the problems that exist today are only behind those who are selfish for their own gains in order for them to have riches. You see, to them, it would be a dull world if they did not create these problems that we have in the world. Who creates the so-called hunger? Who creates wars? Who creates destabilizations for countries? Who creates coups? Who creates all of these issues of life that we think some monster in disguise, some people who are just ill will, just decided to wake up one morning, get a following, and then cause havoc around the world? No, it's the Western European people. White people, if you want to say that. And every white people will admit that, except for white people use code words. White people don't say, oh, white people, we have did destructions around the globe for centuries and eons and enslaved people. No, what they say is conservatives, liberals. They'll say communist. They will say, socialist. They will use words that don't say who's established, who have created the problems in this world. They don't say their own. If we would just open up and realize that the world is against not only itself, but those who don't look like them, who don't talk like them, who don't do like them, you are considered an enemy. Religions created by man to cause havoc around the world, whether it was Christianity and Catholicism or Islam, and these were men created religions. When you talk about, excuse me, y'all, it's cold out here, y'all. I'm not used to the cold. I don't know how How did we get so used to cold weather and we come from the motherland? I miss Africa. I will be back in another month and I can't wait to get back to my heat. Not to say that some of them countries ain't cold over there, but for the most part, the heat in most of the majority of the countries are every day. You know, the sun shines his beautiful face upon us. Our melanin skin is what we need. But back to the subject matter at hand. If we see that the CIA has stated that they create lies in order to create wars, when you hear that our governments sit back and will create a task force to fight the war on drugs, the war on weapons, they created it. You know, my heart goes out to everybody who's caught in a struggle. Everybody in this world who have had the lies, the creation of the creativities, the innovations and the inventions of man that has caused devastations around the world. Now we know other race of people has caused devastation too. And it's sad that many people will follow suit because of this democracy or these governmental systems that will cause havoc amongst people. Because hate really doesn't have a skin color. You know, ignorance don't have a skin color. But when we talk about damn America, when we talk about Europe, and when we see the history of the enslaved, who were us, we got to take it back to who are the ones who started and created that. When we see that the Arabs, when we see that the Chinese and their so-called hate towards not just their own people, that they have this, caste system like India has, it's those who appear to have the lighter skin. And I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but it is amazing. The darker you are, the more issues they have with you. And I'm not trying to turn this into some black or white thing. But what I'm saying is that when you look at history, the problems that have been created has always been against people of color. The whites are going to be, they're going to look at their own people and say, oh, he has olive color. We don't like them. Oh, he has a tan color. We don't like them. Oh, and it goes on down. How is it that this was created? It was all just those few people who knew everybody would try to find their way into a racist system so they can point at somebody behind them as being less than. And we all bought into the lie. So this created mess that we are in, family, starts from the top. Sad to say. Hang in there. Be of strong courage, because your adversary, the evil one, walks about seeking whom it may devour. And you may be the next one that they create to be a devil and be against the love of society. This is your man, not your boy, bringing you another Go Nugget that you can either pick up or you can just kick it aside.